Okay, so Saturday morning stretch on a Tuesday morning. First song is Claire de Lune. We'll get started at a count of 5, 4, 3, 2, and you can press your buttons. Okay, so we're going to start lying down. And have your tie with the little loop, if you've got the loop available. And again, I'll explain both. And just settle in here. You can start to inch your feet out so that your knees drop together comfortably. And if they're too far out, you can walk them back in. Just find that what's called constructive rest. That just neutral spine position, heavy feeling through the hips and the shoulders, weighing down the arms and the legs. Arms outstretched, opening or, allowing everything to come in. And as you follow your breath, nice inhales, nice exhales, just let the weight of the body continue to drop down into your mat, into the floor. All right, so you can start to inch your feet back together. Press down through your left leg and start to take your right knee to your chest. And as you drop in, notice the sensation of the thigh bone and head. Notice that there is sensation there. And notice the feeling of that drawing into the body. What is it? Does it feel soft like water? Does it feel a little thicker like oatmeal? Just become aware. As you feel your outer hips hug towards the midline, you can start to slide the left leg straight. And notice what that feels like in your low back. And if the low back doesn't complain at all, you can keep the leg straight. But if the low back is complaining, then feel free to keep that leg bent. It doesn't make a difference, right? So we want to keep the rest of the spine as comfortable as possible without any kind of feelings of friction. As you draw that right leg in, now start to move that knee a little bit from side to side. Noticing as you draw the knee out to the right what that feels like, as you draw the knee out towards the left what that feels like. Feel the sensation through the hips, feel it through the right knee, maybe through the outside, the IT band, wherever. Just become aware of where, as you move the body, what you're actually doing. All right. And then coming back into neutral, and we'll grab the tie. So, of course, if you have a tie that doesn't have a loop on it, you're just going to take the tie in both hands, slide the arms down so that the elbows can relax, and just press the heel away. Now, if you do have a strap, this just becomes a little bit less work that you actually have to do, because you don't have to hold it. You take the strap, wrap it around your foot, and then take the tie and wrap it around your shoulders, so underneath your underarms. Hold on to the tie with your left hand. And there, now you're hanging in this position without having to hold. And as you notice here from my picturing of this pose. My heel is right on top of the hip. The heel is not forward, so we're not stretching the hamstring here. We're feeling the thigh bone just sink into the hip socket. And then we're going to start to, now if you have the tie that you don't have a strap around, you're going to wrap the tie around the outside of the leg, hold on to the tie with your right hand, and drop the leg over towards the right. If you've got the tie behind your back, just take your hand to the outside and just let it fall. And bring your mind's eye back to the rest of your body. Notice if your right hip has followed the right leg out to the side, and if it has, drop back up. Think of the hip looking up, and then start to take the leg out to the side. See if that feels different in the body. And then let's work the outside of the leg a little bit. You can hold on to the string so that the leg feels like it's got security, or you can hold on to the leg itself. We're just going to turn the heel up towards the sky as the toes come down towards the floor. And then we're going to turn the toes up, dropping the heel down. So here again, playing with that thigh bone in the hip socket, rolling it around. Excellent. All right, we're going to take that leg now up. Now, if you have the tie in the left hand, see if you can do it without help. If you don't, or both actually, just see if you've got that adductor. I think that's strength. And then we're going to start to lower the leg to the left. So if you have the tie, you can wrap the tie around the inside of the leg. Hold down now with your left hand. So it looks like so. And then just take that leg down towards the left. The right buttocks is going to roll off the floor, but the rest of the body is staying upright. As if you were standing in this pose, the rest of the body is still facing forward as that leg comes over. If you would like, you can start to spin your belly button and your gaze towards that right hand. Excellent. One last deep breath here. Should be feeling well, maybe. I'm certainly feeling a lot of work through that outer right hip, into that IT band, almost all the way down to the calf. For me. And then here again, lifting up to the inside of the leg through that abductor, lift that leg back up through center. We're going to start to walk our hands up the thigh. And think about the heart reaching up beyond the toes, not the head coming towards the knee. So as you climb up again, press the heel back away from you. So we don't have to come into a deep hamstring stretch here. We're just lifting, encouraging a little work through our abdominals. If you want, you can lift your left leg up. Keep crawling, crawling. And now, for a little hamstring stretch, drop that left foot back down towards the floor, and then start to roll the body back down towards the floor, taking that leg with you. Oh, hello, right hamstring. How are you this morning? 2 more breaths here, making that trigger point soften a little bit. Last breath. And as you exhale now, let's just bend that right knee, draw it into the chest. And notice, like magic, that sensation in the hip has changed. It's either gone away or has lessened or has moved, which I always love. Ta-da! And then even more exciting as we drop that leg down towards the floor and rest it alongside of the left leg, we notice that it feels longer, it feels more relaxed. All the things that, you know, they say the benefits of yoga are kind of shown to us right here in that right leg. Okay, so let's start the second leg. We'll start again with both knees bent. Press down through the right leg, and we'll start to take that left knee to the chest. And here as we draw in, we start to notice sensations as we maybe rock that leg a little bit from side to side. Maybe start to straighten that right leg if you're ready. Or trying it and seeing, does that work? It's like, no, not yet. Okay, so we bend again. So again, it's not what you think should be, it's what's actually happening in the body. What we want to be mindful of are those sensations, and right now we're looking for very little in the sensation market. Beautiful. All right, let's take that tie again. So now I'm just gonna, you know what to do if you don't have the loop. It's either a wrap around the outside for the wrap around as you go down, wrap in as you go to the right. But for me, since I have this tie, I'm taking advantage of it by wrapping it around the back of my shoulder blades and holding on to it with the right hand. And here, imagining yourself standing. So I have found with this pose, because you know we do this once in a while when we're standing, and we'll see maybe if we do it today, probably not, but you never know. But one of the ways that I got into this pose in a standing version was by recognizing what I needed to do here. So what happens as you bring gravity into this is the body pulls down. So you really have to engage and reach up and out through that right foot, and also reach out to the left one, reaching it up and away. And feel as you press down to the right leg that there's an equal opposite sensation of the upper body lengthening away from that foot. So the core is on active. And that's how we hold on to this position when we're standing. All right, we're going to take that leg out to the side. So bring that leg down. You can take your hand and just rest it on the tie if you've got one so that it's comfortable. And start to move the toes down, heel up, heel down, toes up, you know, starting to rock the leg, feeling the thigh bone moving around in the hip socket, keeping the hips level and looking both up towards the ceiling. The left hip should not have followed the left foot out to the side. Excellent, we're gonna lift that leg back up. And then wrapping the tie around the inside of that left calf as you drop it over towards the right. Trying to imagine yourself still, hips facing up towards the sky, both shoulders, just the leg following over, creating quite an intense stretch to the outside of that left leg. All right, we're gonna lift that leg back up now. And start to walk your hands up the thigh, heart reaching up towards the toes, not head towards the knee. Try to keep the heel on top of the hip, not coming forward, at least for the beginning of this, to reach. And then as we exhale, you can start to roll the shoulders back down here. We come into that pretty intense hamstring stretch, which we try to stay with, and release as we exhale. Inhale, stay with it. Hug the outer hips towards each other. Exhale, soften. One last breath like that. And then as you take your next exhale, you can bend that knee again, draw the knee into the chest, and notice how the sensations have changed. Beautiful. We'll release that leg back down. See if it feels as relaxed as the right one, and usually it feels even more relaxed. And here you can just wiggle out the feet. Nice. All right. Let's roll ourselves up. So grab hold of the backs of the knees. Come in and just start to roll a little bit on your spine until you can roll yourself right up to seated. Excellent. Bring your legs in, just hold on to your calves and round back into a cat pose. And then pull the shins as you roll yourself forward into cow. And you can stay like that, or you can roll yourself over. Take the tie out to the side, we'll be using it later. And you can come into cat and cow in this more conventional way. Pressing hands and feet and toes into the floor, rounding back. Inhale, rolling yourself through, coming into cat. Keep going. Beautiful. As we exhale now, we're going to just kind of come and sit back on our heels. Toes are curled under to get a stretch through the feet. And then press the heels of the hands into the floor and lift the fingers up and give them a good stretch as you drop the heart down towards the mat. As we inhale, we're going to roll the palms down and come forward. And let's come through cow pose as we come forward and just roll yourself a little forward. You can't see my hands, so we're getting a stretch the opposite way into that wrist. Exhale, roll yourself back, lift the fingers up, give them a wiggle. And then roll yourself down, lift the palms up, and stretch through the fingers. One last time, roll back. Fingers lift up, give them a wiggle. Exhale, the hands come down, the wrists lift up. Beautiful. Plant both hands, let's make our way up and into downward facing dog. And here you can pedal out your legs. We're going to start to walk our feet forward, toe heel, all the way back to the front of the mat. Bend your knees, let the whole body fall over the legs. And then start to roll yourself up. Just do a few little shoulder rolls. See what's going on in there first thing this morning. You're going to grab hold of the tie again. And you're going to take the tie about shoulder width apart. You're going to try not to draw your wrist back towards you. You're going to try to keep the wrist long. And here we're going to try to keep our underarms hollow. So we do that by drawing the upper outer arms down. Down in this position, forward in this position. Yeah, forward. Okay, so starting here. Going to inhale, lift the arms up. Start to slide your right arm down so your shape is an L. Again, be mindful of what's going on in the wrists and the fingers. Try to keep them long. Think of a hollowing through your underarms, soften through your legs, and then start to pull a little bit more through your right arm. Reaching your left arm both up and then over. Left shoulder staying lined up with the right one. So if you were up against a wall, head, shoulders, butt would be up against the wall with you. And feel now as you breathe that pressing down through your left leg and that rise all the way up left fingers. See if you can feel more of a stretch through the left waist than in the left shoulder. Excellent. To come out of this, we just draw our left arm back up. We're in a nice big V here. Upper outer arm still drawing forward. For those of you now being very mindful. So again, if you have a shoulder issue, you may just want to move a little bit and see what's, kind of find that barrier. Where is it? If you can, we keep going. But we move the elbows at the same time. If you feel that one shoulder is moving and then the other, either make your arms wider or do this without V tie. So there should be a fluid motion all the way down and all the way back up. Beautiful. Bring your hands forward and then just slide your arms back into a shoulder width. Draw the arms forward. Pull the thigh a little bit apart, feeling the engagement of the bicep triceps and hugging in towards the arm bone there. Inhale, lift the arms up over the head, upper arms draw forward. Wrists are straight, fingers are straight. Start to slide the left arm straight out to the side. You're in a L, big L, big L. Lengthen, feel your feet, and then start to draw a little bit more through that left arm, reaching that right arm up and then over. Feeling the stretch through the right side waist, breathing. Beautiful. One more breath here, lengthening from right foot to right fingers. And then pull on the right arm again, lift back up, you're in a nice big V. And again, try this action if it works. And then all the way back up and forward, nice. Release the tie to the side, do a little circle. And notice how that feels, shake out your wrists. Okay, bring the palms together. Inhale, sweep the arms up over your head. Exhale. Folding forward, bending your knees, just kind of cascading down. Let's take that right leg back behind us. And start to inch that right foot back in space. Now you can drop that back knee right to the floor. If not, you're lifting, keeping the knee up, pulling the legs towards each other, and trying to create two parallel lines, the left shin, the front shin, and the back foot, both perpendicular to the floor or parallel to one another. From here, lengthen the crown of the head up and away from your heel. Notice that both hips feel level. And then we're going to exhale, bend that right knee, almost let it touch. Inhale, straighten it. Exhale, bend. Inhale, straighten. Bend and straighten. And last time, bend, hold. Reach that heart forward. One more breath like this. And then let's start to move that front leg. Stretch that front leg straight. And then bend it. And if this bothers the back knee, you can keep the back knee off the floor. Makes it a little bit more work, more of a challenge to combat that. Maybe you use your blocks. So that if you've got more weight in your hands here, the back knee doesn't have to work so hard, and especially in this position. All right. Plant the hands to the floor, step the left leg back, you're in plank pose. Push the floor away from you, melt the heart, be here. Feel the crown of the head and the heel moving away from each other, feel the sides of the waist hug in. Be with this. One last breath, feel the power. And then tap the knees to the floor, pull the elbows, pull the hands back so that you roll a little forward and then bend the elbows back as well. Come all the way to the floor. Inch your hips back Walk your feet back, take your arms a little wide and forward, and then peel yourself off the floor. Pull your hands back and start to reposition yourself maybe a centimeter or a millimeter farther forward as you roll yourself all the way back down. Inhale, roll up, and down. Keep going. Last one. Beautiful. Let the head touch the floor. Take the hands back. Press the palms into the mat. Palms, feet, and pelvis press down. And we're going to lift our upper outer arms, our heart, and our head. And notice here how much the glute muscles want to squeeze. And you do want to keep them active. So the glute muscles will feel as if they're drawing towards each other. But don't squeeze them as you reach the heart up and away from them. From here, if you want, you can start to lift the arms up, reach the palms towards each other. And lengthen again the heart a little bit more forward. Beautiful. Exhale, come all the way back down. Plant the hands back underneath the breast, press hands and knees into the floor. Lift up and cat-tail yourself all the way back and into child's pose. Take a nice big inhale here, and as you exhale, make your way back up into downward facing dog. And then look forward, we'll take our right leg forward. And again here, either the back knee comes to the floor and we just hang here, or if the knee doesn't like this position, keep the leg off the floor. Walk that back foot back a little bit, pull the shin and the sole of the foot towards each other as you reach the tailbone and the head away from one another, and then start to bend into that back knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. And straighten, keep going. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Beautiful. This time as we drop the knee, we can start to stretch the front leg straight. And here you can either do this version or you can grab your blocks and make it a little bit easier on the pressure of the back knee, a little bit more challenging through the hips. Beautiful. Last one, as we inhale, we're going to come forward, lift that back knee off the floor, plant the hands, slide that leg forward and fold. Inhale, roll yourself up, arms overhead, palms together, look up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Heart up into the hands as you inhale, reconnect through your feet, so find your mountain. Notice if your feet felt rooted through the four corners or just one spot. Now let's start again, taking off some layers here. Inhale, lift up, palms together. Exhale, we'll fold forward. Hinging from the hips, hands to the mat. Lengthen, coming into your flat back. Hands to the mat. Let's take that left leg back behind us. And again here, if you want to drop the knee to the floor, you can. We're just going to rock a little bit from side to side, opening up those hips. One last bit. We're just noticing how they feel after all the work we've done in them already. Is this delightful as we move back and forth? Is there a spot that doesn't really like it? So be mindful. And if there is a spot that you don't really like, instead of pushing away and running from it, stay in there. What's there? What do you need to know? Excellent. Okay. Lifting that back leg off the floor, we're going to take the right leg back again and slowly make our way down to the floor. Again, taking the arms a little wide and forward as we peel ourselves up off the mat. Pull up the mat and roll ourselves down a little farther away, forehead can touch. Again, inhale. And exhale. Last time. Beautiful. Sliding the hands back, press hands and knees, or maybe hands and toes into the floor this time to make your way all the way up and back and into down facing dog. Just pedal up the legs. Excellent. Look forward. We're going to take our right leg forward. Back knee can drop to the floor if you want as we start to rock. Hips down, both sides. Again, if there's a spot in here that feels just a little strange, instead of rushing away from it, stay with it. What is that? Maybe it'll even reveal itself. It's a past mistake that you brew. You know, it's like, I don't know. I don't know what's in there. Who knows? All right, coming back, we'll come back forward. Step that back leg forward and fold. Inhale into your flat back. Fold back down, walk your feet together, knees together, have a seat. Pull the shins back, and then reach for your block or your tie, and take the hands back behind you. Take your hands about shoulder width apart. Imagine pulling the tie apart so that the biceps roll out towards the triceps. And then if it feels okay to lift the arms off the back, lengthen tailbone and crown of the head away from one another. Breathe. Feel how this opens up the chest. Feel as the shoulder blades or the collarbones widen, the heart can reach well beyond the crown of the head. So for those of you that want a little bit more challenge here, this is a good one, but you can also take that tie, bring it forward. And again, arms about shoulder width apart, same thing, a little bit more work in the upper body. Beautiful. Exhale, fold back down. Release the tie. Lengthen into your flat back. Hands to the mat. Step back into your plank pose. Hold. Melt the heart. Lengthen the head and the heels away. Feel the sides of the waist tug in. Hold. How long can we hold here? And then come all the way down. We're going to slide our left arm forward. We're going to slide ourselves onto the left side. And again, since it's our strap class, we're going to grab hold of that tie. So again, if you do have the loop, you're going to place the foot in the loop. If you don't, you're just going to wrap the foot around and hold on as if you are making your own little loop. Now let's see. Okay. So this one is actually easier if you do have the loop, only because you've got a little bit more of the strings holding you in place. So you can, if you have a loop, again, wrap the tie around the shoulder blades and hold on with your left arm. And that right leg just kind of hangs up there. Now, if you want to work the adductor, we're going to hold on to the tie. You can do it up here and just slowly start to bring that right leg down. Press out to the inseam of that right leg and then bring it back up. Now, if you hated that, just stay here. But if you thought, oh, this is working those muscles that I have a hard time getting into, we're going to do another few sets. And this will be our 5th one. If you're joining me here, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's lift that leg up. Okay. Get the tie from underneath your body. You're going to take the tie now. We're going to bend the knee and draw both knees together as you first just pull the heel toward your bum. So a little quad stretch. And if you want here, also an opportunity to get into the neck a little bit, you can take your opposite hand to that right neck shoulder and give the massage. Okay, this is the fun part. So we're now going to bend the elbow, so the elbow is at the side waist. We're just going to then slide the hand up the thigh, so that the hand is now at the shoulder, and then lift the elbow on a straight line from the hip forward over towards the head, and then we're going to roll onto our bellies. Now, I guess this will depend on if you have a long enough tie, but if you have a long enough tie, you can then grab hold of the tie with both hands, start to straighten the arms, and start to straighten the leg. So this even gets a little challenging with the foot, because there, you got to have the heel up. So here we've got this straight leg, straight arms. If you want, you can reach the arms and the foot away, stretch long. Beautiful. And then release. And we'll roll to the second side. Switch feet. And we'll take that leg, left leg up in the air. And we'll flip around. So first one, I tie around my body because it makes holding the leg up nice and easy. Actually, it's effortless. That's the reason why I like to use the tie here. I like effortless sometimes, it's nice. And then reconnecting with the rest of the body so it feels strong. So as we lower that leg down, we really feel the effort of the outer muscles doing the work, inner muscle as we lift back up. Exhale, bring it down. And back up again. 3 more. Notice if anything else changes as you move through this, and notice if that change is a good one or a bad one. Like if the shoulder starts to spin, the bottom shoulder, then just be mindful of it. See if you can do it without that movement. And here's our last one. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We'll lift that leg back up. Grab hold of it. We'll start to release the tie from behind us. We're going to bend the knees. Draw the heel in towards the bum for a quad stretch. Slide the right arm up over your head. And then here, in a straight line, so a line that's parallel to the mat, the elbow starts to move forward over the head, and then we roll ourselves onto our bellies. Forehead can come to the floor. Slide the tie. Oh, I'm sitting on it, it's not going to slide at all. Slide the tie, your hand up the tie so it's a little straighter, then grab the other hand on top. And then start to stretch arm and leg straight. Upper arm still drawing down or towards each other. Or just always think about hollowing the underarms. Beautiful. And then come back down and relax, rest. Release the tie. You can windshield wiper the legs a little bit. Excellent. Once again, bring your hands back down to the floor, press hands and knees into the floor, lift up, back up, child's pose or downward facing dog. Feel the connection that you have with the hands, increase it by pressing the floor down and forward, lifting the hips up and back, upper underarms still drawing towards each other a little bit, collarbones wide. If you're in child's pose, make your way back up into downward facing dog. Let's add a few standing poses. Let's take our right leg up and back. Sweep it forward towards the right thumb. Spin that back heel down. Let's make our way all the way up and into warrior two. Beautiful. Let's play a little bit here. So we're going to press our right leg straight, lift our arms up over our head. Stretch everything. And then as we come back down into warrior two, make sure that right knee stays tracked over the center of the foot. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, sweep back down. Inhale up. Stretch. Exhale down. Last one, inhale. And exhale, we'll come into warrior two. Take an extra breath here. And then we'll take the right elbow onto the right thigh, taking the left arm either up towards the sky, one arm through both hands, or taking that arm and reaching it over the head, lengthening it up and away from that back foot. Beautiful. Inhale, come all the way back up. We'll straighten that front leg. We're going to turn ourselves into a 5-pointed star. Reach out to those arms, lengthen the tailbone and the crown of the head away from one another. As we exhale, we're going to turn our heels in, bend our elbows, and drop into goddess. Inhale, stretch back out, turn the heels back out, 5-pointed star. Exhale, goddess. Inhale, 5-pointed star. 3 more. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Exhale. This time we're here and we stay. And turn the palms out. Drop the shoulders down. Feel the heart lift up. Side ribs draw back. Forelegs. Shins draw towards each other. Excellent. One more breath. Go a little lower. And then stretch everything straight. Turn the heels out and fold forward. Let the back of the neck get long. And then hinging as you pull the feet towards each other, hinge from the hips and fold forward. Here, if you want, you can start to move around the legs a little bit, back and forth. Stretching the inside of the legs. Excellent. And then let's crawl ourselves back to the front of the mat. Plant the hands, step the right leg, right leg back, and then come through your vinyasa. I'm going to take the left leg forward now to the left thumb. Inhale, make your way up into warrior two. Inhale, sweep everything up. Reach. Exhale, sink back down. 2. Left knee tracking the left foot. 3. 4. Last one, inhale. And exhale, coming through your warrior 2, holding for a breath. And then moving on to your Parska. So arm onto thigh. Other arm up in a straight line. Or on a trajectory from that back foot, reaching up and away. Keep breathing. Excellent, coming back up. Stretching that front leg straight, coming back in. This time just goddess pose, hold. And hold. And sink. And press the forearms away. Sides of the waist, tight in and breathe. Excellent. 2, 3, 4. And then press into the feet. Grow. Turn the heels out. And fold. Let's add a twist here. Taking the right hand to the midline, taking your left arm, just drawing a line up to the opposite shoulder, and then lifting that elbow up so it's right on top of the left arm, or right arm, sorry, and then float that left head up. Can you lengthen from your crown of your head out to the tailbone? Can you feel instead of your your right hip trying to follow you around, starting or initiating the twist, that your hip is actually back in its place and the belly button is trying to do that work? Beautiful, let's take that hand back down. Lengthen, feel that the body going back into normal, into neutral. And then planting the opposite hand, starting again, drawing a line up the inner arm through both shoulders, elbow lifts, and then the arm floats up. Notice again, if your hip is following you around, see if you can draw it back and make that your belly button. Beautiful. Exhale, release back down, and fold. And again, if you want to move into those inner thighs a little bit, you can do a little bit of this Balavasana work. Or sorry, Skandasana work. We'll crawl back to the front of the mat. And this time we will step forward and fold. Inhale, roll yourself up. Grab hold of your tie one last time. All right, so we're not going to do the tie stretch. We'll do a little bit of it, but mostly what I want to do is a little bit more of that shoulder stretch. So we'll move into dancer here, which we did also lying down. So depending on the length of your tie, so if you have a nice long tie, this will be great. If not, you can just move into dancer, which would be lifting that knee up. Okay? Keep the knees together. But for this first one, if you do have a long tie, again, you're stepping on one end of it. The opposite, you hold onto it with the right hand and draw that shoulder forward. So again here, upper outer arm is drawing forward. So the underarm is hollowing here. And then we're going to slide the arm up the tie. Still here, nice straight line from elbow to shoulder. And then grab hold of it with the opposite hand. Hug the elbows in towards the head. And then start to pull on the tie a little bit, lifting the heart up. You can start to straighten the arms more and more, as long as it's not, moving into spots that you don't like or don't feel like there's, if you feel your low back as you're moving into this, then stop, readjust, try to make all of the movement from the empire waist up. And eventually maybe the arms can straighten And you can come into this really nice back bend. All right, so from there, rest the tie over your shoulder and let's lift that knee up, or foot up. So again, with the tie, you can do the same thing. Elbows come towards each other, arms come together. And then we push that foot away, which will eventually straighten the arms. If you're scared of falling over, place one hand on the wall, but the wall should be in front of you. Beautiful. As you come back down, rest. We'll switch sides. So we start, the elbow stays in, comes forward and up. Keep the elbows coming towards each other as you start to straighten the arms. The hips and ribs are trying to stay towards each other as the heart lifts up. That's what allows you to come into this pretty deep back bend. Notice if you stop breathing, then you know you've gone too far, right? You know that whole trick. And then inhale, come back up. Rest the tie on your shoulder, take a moment, breather. And then you can start to draw on the tie to lift that foot up. If you've got the tie just wrapped around the foot, same thing. So I'll show you this one without a loop. Knees together. Once again, elbow moves forward in space, not out to the side and around. It's up this way. Upper outer arm drawing forward, underarm hollow. Take the opposite arm on top. Hug the elbows towards each other. From here, heart lifts, we push that foot away. If you need to hold on to a wall, you hold on with the opposite hand. So really, if you have the hand forward, it's like you're in dancer pose. Look at that. Beautiful. And then again, as you come down, slowly come back down. And just take a moment. Release to the shoulders, release to the arms. All right, so we'll do one version of the stand. Since we're up, since we have the tie, since we did it on the ground and we noticed what it felt like to stand in that pose, let's notice what it feels like as we come into the standing version of our standing Hastapad Padangusthasana. Hand, foot, lifting up. So, here we want to see what it feels like to lie down, leaning up against a wall, shoulders up against a wall, butt up against a wall, head up against the wall. Heart stays lifted. Start to lift that foot up, trying to, as the leg lifts up, you'll feel the shoulders want to drop back. And instead of the shoulders dropping back, I want you to move your inner thighs backwards. Oh, look at that, you're standing up again. Now, you're still bringing that head back, still leaning up against the wall as you bring that foot halfway up. See if you can make another leg grow out of your right leg, right hip, so that the hips stay level. And hold here. Beautiful. One last breath. Slowly release the tie. Come back down. You can give yourself a little dance. We'll move to the second leg. Press down through the right leg. Start to draw the left leg up. So again, if you don't have a loop, elbows stay in the body, we just start to walk our hands up the tie. Draw or make another leg grow out of the outer left hip so the hips stay level. Inner thighs spit back so shoulders right on top of hips, knee, ankle. Imagine yourself lying down here. Does that take some of the pressure out of the pose? Beautiful. And then release. Excellent. Shake out the legs. Okay, I think we are done with these. That could be not true, but let's make our way back down to the floor. Oh, it's so not true. I forgot I have a whole series of forward folds that we can do with these. So silly of me. Okay. So starting off in Dandasana. If you don't have a loop, you're going to just take the tie, wrap it around both feet. And then press the feet back towards you and then pull the elbows back so that they're lined up with the body. So you're coming into Dandasana. Keeping all this length with you as you start to hinge from the hips. And fold forward, and you can start to walk your hands up the thigh, but keep pressing the legs down and back towards the body as the heart reaches well beyond the toes. Big stretch to the back side of the legs. So I'm going to take the tie now, wrap it only around the right foot. Hold on to the tie with the right hand. Take your left hand to your thigh. I'll spin myself around here again so you can see. And then low back, draw in and out, belly tucked in, lift that right leg up. Hold on to the tie with your left hand. You can wrap the tie around your fist or your arm, and then take that foot over towards the left for a nice big IT stretch. And just a nice, again, that whole way down, you might feel something interesting. Wherever you're feeling something, give it a little love. Beautiful. Come back through center. We're going to draw the knee back behind the underarm and forward. And like working like a locomotive here and forward if you want. As you draw it back, you can release the tie, just hold on to the right leg and draw it forward and back. Side body still nice and long. And then let's take that foot and draw it into the inside of the left leg, coming into Janu Shirshasana. Right knee, if it doesn't sit comfortably on the floor, take some padding underneath that leg. So it's comfy, feels as if it can release. I find if you leave the leg hanging out and it's not rested, it just adds tension to it. So we don't need tension, we wanna soften. And you can notice the minute it has something to rest on, it's actually resting and you don't have to think about it too much. From here, we're going to just take the tie again, why not? Wrap it around the left foot, sit up nice and tall, spin the body to face that leg and then fold forward over that right leg. Left leg, I meant left leg, sorry, you know, straight leg, the one that's in front of you. Back of the neck long, breathe. Beautiful, come up. Take the left hand to the right knee, right hand comes behind you. And then start to walk that right hand a little closer to you so it lets you sit up even taller. Lengthen up to the crown of the head. As we exhale, start to bend into the left elbow and feel the belly button spinning around the spine. Feel the muscles around the belly button spinning around and up the spine. Then the rib cage, same thing, then the shoulders. Finally, the neck muscles looking over the back shoulder. Bring your mind's eye back to that left foot, root it down and let it sit you up even taller. Let's do some nods, yes. Bring your chin back to neutral, look over your front shoulder. Nod yes. Beautiful, sitting up nice and tall, lengthen. We're going to spin ourselves all the way around so that our right hand comes to the outside of the left. And as we lengthen up and spin, feel again, as if all of the muscles and organs are spiraling up through the spine, through the crown of the head. Just a little open twist. Maybe a nice little crack in there. Coming back through center, and we'll release that right leg and give it a shake. In between, let's just do a nice little pachimo. So hands behind the thighs, give yourself a nice little hug here. Think of your low back lengthening up towards the knees. And then start to slide the feet forward. Your belly should never leave your thighs. So you can go lower and lower, but not if your belly comes off the thighs. Lengthen the crown of the head forward, low back still drawing in and up. Inhale, we'll come back up. Come back into Dandasana. Pulling those arms back, finding this very strong and powerful pose, rooting into the floor and finding that pike of yours. As we exhale, we hinge from the hips to fold forward. And start to walk your hands up the thigh. Lengthen the heart beyond the toes. Slide the thigh off of the right foot, press the right hand into the foot, and then lift that left leg up, low back staying in and up, heart staying lifted. We're going to cross the hand over so the right hand's got the foot so that we can give the massage with the left hand in any areas of the outside of that leg that need a little extra attention. Sometimes all we need is just a little ankle lift. Stay nice and tall here. And then bringing that leg back to center, back and forth here. And forth. Back and forth. Back and forth. And then you can take that foot, release the thigh, bring that foot into Janu. And again, if the knee doesn't comfortably come all the way to the floor and rest, then let it rest on something. Oh yeah. Thigh comes around the right foot now. We sit up nice and tall. We spin our bodies to face that leg. And we fold forward into Janu. Lengthening on the inhale. Releasing, surrendering on the exhale. Beautiful. Inhale, we're going to come up. We're going to take our right hand to the left knee, left hand behind us. Lengthen, maybe bring that left hand in a little closer to sit you up even taller. And then bending from the right elbow, feeling all of the muscles, the organs, anything that's in the torso that's not the spine, spinning around that spine, all the way up and around through the crown of the head. Look over your back shoulder, nod yes. Bring your chin back to neutral, come over the front shoulder, nod yes. Lengthening up nice and tall, we'll spin ourselves all the way back through center on an inhale. And then we'll come all the way over to the right side for a nice little counter twist, lengthening again all the way up and around, up through the crown of the head. Doesn't have to be forceful, it just has to feel nice. And then release that, release the thigh. Now we are through with the thigh, and we'll make our way down into Shavasana, exactly, just whoosh. Now, if you want to lie on something for a little extra cushioning, I'm never opposed to a little extra cushioning as long as it doesn't change the shape of the body. So for this one, I've got my whole Sacrum resting on it right up to the shoulders. And coming down and into constructive breath. So how we started. And just noticing all the different sensations now in the body as opposed to how we started. And I love all those little sensations, but like it's as if the body is talking to me. And some areas say, yeah, man, you really used me a lot here. Thanks. And then there are other areas that say, oh yeah, but I used you, but I feel so great, so thank you. So who knows? Just be with it. If there's any last movements that you want to do before you make your way into Shavasana, feel free. And if not, if you're ready, just start to release the legs down. Have them a little wider than hip distance, toes splaying out. Take your arms out lower than shoulder width or shoulder height. Also palms facing up. In this massive receiving pose. And notice, do you feel warm enough? And if not, grab your extra layers. Don't wait until, if you think, I'm fine, I'll be okay, but you're really not, you're lying to yourself. Take a minute for yourself. It's like when you wake up in the middle of the night and have to pee, just do it. Don't sit and belabor it, just get it done. And as the body starts to soften and drop into the floor, notice that maybe your breath has gotten a little longer. You can start to use the breath as a direction. So as we exhale, we direct the body down into the earth. As we inhale, we feel the subtle effects of expansion, either expansion through the physical shape or beyond it. And then we exhale and soften even more. Today's daily Om is called Winter. In times past, the bare-limbed trees, long nights, and biting chill of winter signified to all that the time had come to slow down. Humanity emulates the animals, retreating into cozy dwellings where they sustain themselves on food harvested late in autumn and past the time in peaceful reflection. Today, most people proceed ruddy-cheeked through winter's frosts, ignoring the profound effects winter weather has on our bodies and our minds. Yet the beauty and significance of wintertime cannot be so easily overlooked. As the temperature plummets, leaving the air crisp and the landscape bare, we tend to crave warmth and relish rich foods. The presence of loved ones seems more comforting when blustering winds rattle window panes, and we feel compelled to conserve our energy by engaging in only the most soothing of activities. Though your daily schedule may remain more or less the same no matter what time of year it is, you will find in winter many opportunities to honor the way in which you are impacted by this most magical of seasons. At first glance, the world may seem desolate during the coldest months. Yet there are many unique and stimulating sensory experiences to be had in the intricate beauty of individual snowflakes, the patterns of frost that form on your windows, the tang of smoke from wood-fueled fireplaces, the crunch of freshly fallen snow under your feet, and the briskness of the air. Don't be afraid to venture joyfully out into the cold and the snow as you may have when you were a child. A tingling and redded nose is a small price to pay for a clear mind and an invigorated soul. If your body articulates a desire to rest, give yourself permission to spend your free time reading, writing in your journal, daydreaming, engaging in artistic pursuits, playing board games, working on a puzzle, or meditating. Many plants, like the tulip and the apple tree, would not blossom in springtime were it not for the period of dormancy that is the gift of winter's chill. Their example can inspire us to use the season of slumber to cleanse ourselves of spiritual and emotional detritus, like flora shedding lifeless foliage, so that we too may emerge from under the frost, refreshed and renewed when spring arrives. So you can begin to deepen your breath. And as the energy starts to move through you, down through your arms and your legs, you can encourage this by wiggling your fingers and your toes, or stretching, yawning. Spend a little time on your side after you've stretched in every way that you need to. And then when you're ready, slowly make your way back up to seated, sitting up nice and tall. Bring our hands to our heart up into our hands as we end our practice together. Feel free to unmute yourself so we can Om together. And here, as we take our moments of gratitude, I invite you to think of 2-3 things that just make your heart swell. Lucky to be alive. I have one for all of us. Yesterday was the solstice. So every day from now until the middle of June, the days will get brighter. So yay. And of course, take a moment to offer your gratitude for this beautiful community of ours that keeps us coming back. Helps us with our consistency with yoga. So how perfect. Thank you all. We'll end the practice with the sound of one Om. Taking a nice big inhale. Big exhale through the mouth. Inhaling to Om. And be mindful or just notice that beautiful vibration and how the Om just connects you a little deeper to the earth. As a reminder that our thoughts should always be filtered through our hearts, so we'll bring our hands to our head and back to the hearts where they belong. Namaste.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Paula.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
A wonderful